Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in for our TLC study session today. Let's start with the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Urun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Dushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranams to all the devotees. Thank you all for joining in. We are on chapter number 13 of Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So this chapter is going to talk about devotional service and attachment, Raga Anuga Bhakti. Right? The previous chapter we saw about sadhana bhakti, right? How are we supposed to develop our or reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna? How are we supposed to reawaken our love? Because we don't have that kind of love. But in this chapter, we're going to talk about devotional service and attachment. That means the love or the dormant love has already been awakened, right? This is the natural state of a devotee, is that he automatically wants to serve the Lord, right? This attachment towards the Lord is natural. But then we have actually accumulated so much of anarthas that we have kind of covered this propensity to serve and love the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But in this chapter, we're going to talk about those devotees of the Lord who are so connected to the Lord, who have already awakened or they have never lost their connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the Brajavasis, the Gopis of Vrindavan, the Gopas of Vrindavan, the eternal associates of the Lord, who are eternally serving the Lord in attachment. They are not serving the Lord because they have to. They are serving the Lord because they want to. They want to serve the Lord, and in Lord Krishna's satisfaction, in Lord Krishna's pleasure is their pleasure. So that is what we mean by saying devotional service in attachment. So let's see what Prabhupada says here. And this is also a continuation of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatana Goswami. So let's continue reading this chapter number 13, entitled Devotional Service in Attachment. Okay. Vrishabhanu Kanya Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare.
Next, Lord Chaitanya said to Sanatan Goswami, thus far I have explained devotional service according to regulative principles. Now I shall explain devotional service to you in terms of transcendental attachment. The inhabitant of Vrindavan, Vraj Bhumi, are a living example of devotional service. Theirs is ideal devotional service with attachment and such devotion cannot be found anywhere except Vrindavan. Developing devotional service and attachment, and such devotion cannot be found anywhere except Vrindavan. Developing devotional service and attachment by following in footsteps of the Vrajavasis is called Raga Marga Bhakti, or devotional service in pursuance of attachment to the Lord. According to the Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu 1.2.272, the ecstatic attachment for the Lord experienced in the course of the devotional service that is natural for the devotee is called raga, or transcendental attachment. The devotional service discharged with such deep attachment and with consequent deep absorptions in the object of love is called ragatmika. Examples of such devotional service can be seen in the activities of the resident of Vrajabhumi. One who becomes attached to Krishna by hearing of such attachment is certainly very fortunate. When one becomes deeply affected by the devotion of the resident of Vrajabhumi and tries to follow in their footsteps. He does not care for the restrictions and or regulations of the revealed scripture. This is characteristics of and discharging raga bhakti. Devotional service with attachment is natural, and one who has been attracted
Hare Krishna,
by
Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare Bol. So, very beautifully here, the characteristics of those people who are naturally attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead are clearly delineated. Right? Prabhupada very clearly says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also tells Sanatana Goswami that it is the Vrajavasis who are the Ragatmika Bhaktas. We can never become Ragatmika Bhaktas. Even when we perfect our lives, we can never become Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Bhaktas are Vrajavasis who have their eternal positions in service of the Lord. See, Yashoda Maya is the eternal mother of Krishna. Nanda Maharaj is the eternal father of Krishna. Then you have Subala, Shri Dhama, who are eternal friends of Lord Shri Krishna. And then you have the gopis of Vrindavan, you have Srimati Radharani, who all serve Krishna in the Madhurya Ras. So all these are devotees who accompany the Lord whenever the Lord takes his incarnation. Right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So whenever Krishna decides to appear to fulfill certain purposes, Krishna always brings along his entourage, the paraphernalia, or the devotees, or his eternal associates, or we can call them Nitya Siddhas, right? He brings them along as he performs his various leelas. These devotees eternally serve Lord Shri Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan Dham, and parallelly when Krishna makes an incarnation, they also incarnate along with Krishna to serve Lord Shri Krishna in Bhauma Vrindavan. In Goloka Vrindavan, these pastimes happen eternally. In Bhauma Vrindavan, whenever the Lord appears, the residents of Vrajabhumi, they also appear to teach the world what it is to render service to Lord Shri Krishna. And they are called Raga Atmika Bhaktas because they never forget their love for Krishna. It is their Atmarpanam. That means it is there for all of us also, but we allow that love for Krishna to be superseded by other things. Our attachment to material things, our attachment to Lord, to our material nature. That's why we are called Nitya Baddhas, right? So Nitya Baddhas, when they perfect their lives also, they can only become Raga Anuga Bhaktas. We can never become Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Bhaktas are eternally there in the spiritual world. They never fall down to this material world. So when we perfect our lives, we realize our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we actually need to follow in the footsteps of the Ragatmika Bhaktas. That is why we call Raga Anuga Bhaktas. That means Raga is coming, right? With our practice of devotional service, slowly the Raga is coming. Raga means the desire, the spontaneous desire to serve the Lord. That is coming. But how will it come? By Anuga. Anu means to follow. That's why we call Rupa Anugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. Raga Anuga. That means we get the desire to serve Lord Sri Krishna by following in those Ragatmika Bhaktas who eternally want to serve, satisfy and please Lord Sri Krishna. And they are willing to do, and they're willing to go any mile, right? Anywhere, anytime, any length to simply satisfy Lord Sri Krishna. They are the Ragatmika Bhaktas. Okay, so a very important point what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami and what is given by Prabhupada. When one becomes deeply affected by the devotion of the residents of Rajabhumi and they try to follow in their footsteps, right? Now this is very tricky, right? We should not become sahajas, right? It's not that we dress up like the gopis. It's not external. It is not I dress myself in a gopi dress, or I dance like a gopi, or I consider myself a gopi, right? It's not at the physical body level or at a subtle body level. It is not an artificial imposition on myself, the way I dress or the way I think, right? It is not about that. It is about what I feel. What I feel means also, thinking, feeling and willing are the compositions of the mind only. But then, when all the external coverings are removed, like you have the Prakrita Sahajas, right? They think themselves, I am a gopi, I want to dance with Krishna, right? I danced with Krishna last night, like that, right? And Prabhupada, in so many of his lectures, he actually puts down all of these people, saying they're all rascals, right? Because the Goswamis of Vrindavan, who are direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, who's appeared in the mood of Radharani, right? Never claimed themselves to be pure devotee, never told that, oh, I saw Krishna last night dancing with the gopis. Never. They always say, hey Radhe Vrajadevike Chalalite, hey Nanda Suno Kutaha. Oh Krishna, where are you? Oh Radharani, where are you? How can I serve you? When will I get your darshan? Right? What is that verse? For Madhavendra Puri. Actually, that is the mood of Srimati Radharani. मथुरा नाथ कदा अवलोक्य से हृदयं त्वदलोककातरं दैत्य भ्राम्यति किं करोम्यहं आराध no is that how does it start दैत्य भ्राम्यति किं करोम्यहं, right? ऐ दीन दयाद्र नाथ है मथुरा नाथ कदा अवलोक्य से हृदयं त्वदलोककातरं दैत्य भ्राम्यति किं करोम्यहं ऐ दीन दयाद्र नाथ है. This is the mood of Radharani. This is the mood of Madhavendra Puri, right? What does he sing? I Deena Dayadra Nath hai. Deena Daya. That means I am most fallen and you are my savior. Deena Dayadra Nath. You are my master who is going to save me. Mathura Nath. Oh, you are the Lord of Mathura, right? I am coming from a small village, Vrindavan. But you are Mathura Nath. Kada avalokya se. When will I see you, oh Lord? When will I get to see you? Hridayam tvadaloka kataram. My heart desires to serve you, to see you, to serve you eternally. Daita Brahm. Daita means very, very dear. Daita Brahmyati kim karomyaham. That means, oh Krishna, you're so dear to me. I eternally want to serve you. But when will I see you? When can I serve you? It's not that Radharani and the Goswamis of Vrindavan, they had such association with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? But they never told that, oh, I met Krishna, right? Why? Because this is like even Arjuna tells, right? Show me the Vishwarupa. It is not that Arjuna was in any kind of doubt, that he doubted whether Krishna is the Lord. Only when you show the Vishwarupa, I will believe that you are the Lord. No, they are the eternal Parshadas of the Lord, but they don't want to bewilder people. They want to make it easy for the people to not get bewildered that anybody and everybody can become God. That is why Arjuna asked Krishna to show the universal form. Similarly, a devotee of the Lord, however advanced he may be, right, he will try to not show off his symptoms. Only people like Prakriti Sahajas, they will roll on the ground, they will cry tears, etc. With the intention of acquiring name, fame, glory. That is the difference in the mood, right? You also see, why am I paying more attention here? This is very, very important to understand that it is not about display of symptoms. It is not like, for example, Madhavendra Puri, when the Lord himself stole Kheer for Madhavendra Puri, he did not bask in the glory and sitting in that village that, oh, Krishna himself stole Kheer for me. Already he was getting so much of name, fame. oh, this is the person for whom Krishna himself stole the kheer. Because a devotee so much wants to glorify the Lord that he does not want any glorification for himself, because he knows, why am I getting name, fame, glory? Because of my association with the Lord, because of my service to the Lord. So who should get the actual glorification? The Lord should get the actual glorification. So Madhavendra Puri ran away from that particular place, Remuna. He ran away to Jagannath Puri, but the Lord ensured that his glories reached there before. So the Lord is always glorifying his devotees. The devotee is always glorifying the Lord. The devotee never claims that I have seen Krishna. Oh, tears are rolling into my eyes. Even Prabhupada, when he used to have darshan of the deity, sometimes tears used to flow down from his eyes. Except in the last couple of days, when Srila Prabhupada actually showed transcendental ecstasy, because because that was the moment he was having so much in connection with the Lord. Initially also, when he was struggling also, he was telling that only time separates us. He had so much confidence in the Lord that his plan is going to manifest, right? Nacho, nacho, Prabhu nacho, say mate, right? Make me dance, because he knew, Prabhupada knew the plan of Lord Sri Krishna and how he is becoming he's the instrument in the Lord Krishna's hands. So he never went abroad to get any kind of name, fame, glory. He never showed to the Western devotees how advanced he is, how he is looking at the Lord, and tears of ecstasy are flowing. Even in Vrindavan, never once did he show the symptoms of ecstasy, right? Because he did not want name, fame, glory, right? He was happy staying in Vrindavan, but simply to fulfill the order of the spiritual master, he took all the ordeal and he went to a place which is full of natures, which is full of sense gratifying people, just to fulfill the instructions of the spiritual master. So that is the mode of a devotee. A devotee does not want to show anybody that he is a devotee. A devotee does not want to show off that, oh, I am very good, I have seen Krishna, I am serving Krishna, oh, tears are flowing down from my eyes. Never. That is not the mood of a devotee. A devotee would rather put himself down in a lower position, because that is not artificial. Because a devotee knows that whatever feelings I'm experiencing, even if I am the devotee of the highest order, right? I know that whatever feelings I'm experiencing for the Lord is because of the Lord's mercy, right? It is not that something I have acquired on my own merit, right? And who but the devotee understands it to the highest degree, right? It is only these people who try, to show to others that I am very dear to the Lord, I am having an exalted position, I am so and so in the temple, I have so many followers, right? When we see the mood itself, we will understand that such a person is trying, right, to show himself as a pure devotee of the Lord, right? You don't have to show, you don't have to put up a show when something is genuinely arising in the heart, right? And devotees especially try to hide, because they don't want people to think that I am a great devotee. Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj used to go near the toilet and chant. Why? Because nobody should think that, oh, he's chanting 24 hours of the day. They will come and ask him benedictions. Oh, give me this material benefit. I want this desire to be fulfilled. Because when somebody knows, especially a materialist knows, that somebody is very close to Krishna, and we also know that Krishna sells himself to such a devotee. If such a devotee asks anything for anyone, Krishna will blindly give, right? Krishna will give everything, right? So such devotees don't want to project themselves as devotees so as to attract materialistic people to come towards them, right? Such kind of devotees hide themselves from the materialists, right? So in the sadhaka stage also we pull our senses, but that is more to protect ourselves from getting affected by the material world. But the pure devotees of the Lord, they also pull themselves inside a shell, right? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did not allow anybody and everybody to come and participate in the kirtan, right? Because people will not understand what kind of what is the gravity of the situation that is there inside, right? They will think that, Hare, what are these people simply dancing and crying and all of that? They're showing some kind of drama, isn't it? That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not allow somebody who's not qualified to enter into the kirtan. Of course, he gave the Hari Nama to everybody, but there is a level, right? To the extent we can digest only, we can have food, right? To the extent we have the hunger only, we can have the food. Otherwise, it leads to diarrhea. Otherwise, it leads to constipation, right? To the extent we can assimilate, to that extent only we will be given opportunities. To the extent we can understand, to that extent only even our gurus will give us knowledge, right? We will not get knowledge which is going above our head, right? Because that will not help us sustain in devotional service. So here, very importantly, what we need to understand in this chapter especially is that great devotees of the Lord who are really close to the Lord never project themselves as great devotees. They have humility oozing out of them so much, right? It is not that they are artificially trying to show humility, but humility oozes in them so much they don't want to be known as devotees. They simply want to serve the Lord, and they do services almost in the background of everything. They don't want to come to the forefront. They don't want name, fame, glory, etc. Right? So, especially why I'm saying this is Prakritya Sahajyas, we can very clearly distinguish because they dress themselves as gopis. They tell that I danced with Krishna yesterday. Oh, Krishna does like this. I want to imitate Krishna. Devotees never imitate the Lord or his pure devotees. Even if they are in their eternal lila, they are gopis. They have come to do a particular role as a devotee. In that role, their intent is to serve the Lord, not to show. That is why they also say that when rendering service, they don't even want to experience this bhav. Because when we are experiencing this bhav, the tears are flowing from the eyes, hair are standing on the end, then the devotees say, I don't want to experience these symptoms because they act as an obstruction for me to do devotional service. Right? Because hair standing on end and all these symptoms are feeling. That means we will not be able to absorb ourselves in the seva because we'll get distracted by these symptoms. That is the nature of pure devotee. I don't want to get distracted by anything, even if that ecstasy is going to take me away from my seva to the Lord, seva to my senior devotees. I don't want such an ecstasy. That is the mode of a devotee. That is where we can distinguish between them and Prakritya Sahajyas. All right, let's move forward. So that's what he says. He does not care for restrictions or regulations of revealed scriptures. This is the characteristic of one discharging Raga Bhakti, right? So sometimes, that is why it all happens within the closed doors, where only people who have this understanding can understand all of this. When they come out, they are like practicing devotees, right? That is how they project others. This is to not bewilder the common people, like that, okay? So the next paragraph, we're going to talk about Prakriti Sahajyas. We understand the distinction between pure devotee and a Prakriti Sahaja. One is completely external. In the external, they look like they are very close to Lord Sri Krishna. Whereas pure devotees of the Lord, although externally they may seem to be not a pure devotee of the Lord, but from their behavior, right, very difficult to understand actually at a sadhaka level. That is why we respect everybody, and whomever we don't understand the way they behave, etc., we always check with our spiritual master. We check with our gurus, and we associate only with those who come in the bona fide parampara. We don't. That is why they also say don't directly go and interact with Rajavasis, right? Because sometimes we may just get carried away by what they are saying, and we may misunderstand what they are saying, right? So in this way, that is why we always remain in our own yatra groups. Even when we go to Dham Darshan in Vrindavan Dham, we always remain with our Shiksha Guru and our group, so that we are grounded and we don't get carried away by whatever we see in Vrindavan Dham, because it is totally beyond our sadhaka's mentality or ability to understand what is going on in the minds of either great devotees or Prakriti Sahajas. We are not able to distinguish like that. Okay, Rajneesh Prabhu, go ahead. This is about Prakriti Sahajas, this paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot.
Hare Krishna.
Devotional service with attachment is natural, and one who has been attracted by it does not care for any arguments against his conviction, even though such arguments may be presented according to scriptural injunctions. The natural inclination to devotional service with attachment is also based upon scriptural injunction, and thus one who has attachment for such devotional service is not required to give it up simply on the strength of the scriptural argument. In this connection, we should note that the class of so-called devotees known as Prakrta Sahajyas follow their own concocted ideas and representing themselves that Krishna and Radha indulge in debauchery. Such devotional service with attachment is false, and those so engaged are actually gliding down a hellish path. This is not a standard of ragatmika bhakti or devotional service with attachment. The prakrita sahajya community is actually cheated and very unfortunate. Devotional service with attachment can be executed in two ways, externally and internally. Externally, the devotee strictly follows the regulative principles, beginning with chanting and hearing, while internally he thinks of the attachment which attracts him to serve the Supreme Lord. And he always thinks of his special devotional service and attachment. Such a real devotee's attachment does not violate the regulative principles of devotional service, and he adheres to them strictly, yet within his mind he always thinks of his particular attachment. All the inhabitants of Brajbhumi.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, Prabhupada is very clearly, this is the same instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving Sanatana Goswami. So a real devotee's attachment does not make him violate. Why? Because Krishna himself says practice devotional service. So why would a devotee, who is an actual devotee, who wants to please the Lord, not do something that is pleasing to the Lord? Right? So internally, the mood is complete attachment to the Lord. But externally, if you see them, they will not go against Guru, Shastra and Sadhu. They will be doing chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They will be waking up in the morning for Mangala Arati. They will be doing deity worship. They'll be preaching. They'll be coming down to the platform of Madhyamadhikari and they'll be preaching the message of Lord Shri Krishna. They will be following the instructions of their Guru as their life and soul. Right? Although in the heart, they will have complete attachment directly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then they will not simply give up something because of their attachment to Krishna. Because they know that they know that externally, right? They have come for a particular purpose and they will do everything according to the whatever role they have come to nibav. They execute in their particular role as a devotee of the Lord. Like when they have come as say Radharani has come as Gadadhar Pandit, right? So as Gadadhar Pandit helps in preaching the message of the Lord. So he takes part in Harinam Sankirtan. Advaita Acharya, he is Lord Mahavishnu himself. But when he comes as Advaita Acharya, he is helplessly worshipping the Shaligram Shila, begging the Lord to appear. Right? Actually, he is the one who creates all of the jivas. He is the one who by his merely thinking, by his mere glance on Ramadev is creating the entire material universe. Right? He is the Supreme Lord. We know there is no distinction between Krishna and Vishnu, except that Krishna is like Vishnu at home and Vishnu is like Krishna in the office. Right? Only that Aishwarya Bhav is there. Right? Vishnu is equal to Krishna. But when he comes as Advaita Acharya, how does he interact with the Lord? He is like praying to the Lord. He is worshipping Shaligram Shila with Tulasi, Gangajal, saying, "Oh Lord, I have no power because the people of Kali Yuga are very difficult. It is very difficult for us to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. You have to personally come on your own as Krishna himself." And then, see, that is one of the external reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to fulfill the desire of Advaita Acharya. That is why he gave this Hare Krishna Mahamantra freely to everybody, not seeing who's qualified, who's not qualified. Right? So in this way, whenever a pure devotee of the Lord comes in this earthly planet, right, they don't show their the internal heart symptoms that they feel towards the Lord. Right? They work, they follow the regulative principles, they work in a way to fulfill the particular mission for which they have appeared in this material world. Right? So that's what is very important to understand here. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, go ahead. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan, of Vrajabhumi.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji. Haribol Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi are very dear to Krishna. A devotee selects one of them and follows in his footsteps in order to be successful in his own devotional service. A pure devotee discharging devotional service with attachment always follows in the footsteps of a personality of Vrajabhumi. It is advised in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.294 that such a pure devotee should always remember the activities of a particular inhabitant of Vraja, even though he is not able to live in Vraja. In this way, he can always think of Vraja. Such confidential devotees are divided into several categories. Some of them are servants, some of them are friends, and some are parents, and some are conjugal lovers. In devotional service with attachment, one has to follow a particular type of devotee of Vrajabhumi. In Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.38, the Lord says, Na karhi chinmats parah shantarupe Dungshyanti no me nimishole dihetihi Yesham aham priya atmasutascha Shaka guru shukruto daivam ishtam. The word matpara is used only to refer to persons who are satisfied with the idea of becoming my adherents alone. They consider that I am their soul, I am their friend, I am their son, I am their master, I am their well-wisher, I am their God, and I am their supreme goal. My dear mother, time does not act on such devotees. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.308, Rupa Goswami offers his respectful obeisances to those who always think of Krishna as son, well-wisher, brother, father, friend, and so on. Whoever adheres to the principles of devotional service with attachment, following in the footsteps of a particular devotee of Rajabhumi, certainly attains the highest perfection of love of Godhead in that spirit. There are two characteristics by which the seeds of love of Godhead can develop, and these are known as rati or attachment and bhava, the condition immediately preceding love of Godhead. It is by such attachment and bhava that the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is conquered by his devotees. These two characteristics are present before any symptoms of love of Godhead are manifest. This was all explained to Sanatana Goswami by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya told him that since there is really no end to describing the system of devotional service with attachment, he is simply trying to offer a sampling.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So we can never, like we said, we can never become Ragatmika Bhaktas. However, I know a particular devotee couple. They always call Gaur Nitai as their son, right? They say that what will they do if we go out somewhere? Who will feed them, right? They will starve like that. So their mood is automatically that of a mother feeding their sons, right? What will my son do if I don't feed them? Like that. So automatically, the more we practice devotional service, such mellows will automatically arise in our heart. But one thing that is common across all the 5 levels we know is seva bhav, right? The service attitude is most important. And then to the extent the Lord wants to reveal to us what is our siddha deha, right? What is our constitutional position in respect to service to the Lord? Until the Lord makes it aware to us, right? The Lord only has to reveal it to us, right? Currently, we are not aware of what is our sthai bhav, like they call it. Sthai bhav means our constitutional position, or in what kind of rasa we are having with the Lord. As long as we don't know that, what we can do is we can practice devotional service in the mood of dasya, right? Because service attitude in the bhava of servant is there even in Madhurya Ras, right? Even Rukmini Devi or Srimati Radharani also, for that matter, right? We all know that pastime where Radharani and the gopis are willing to give the dust of their feet to cure Lord Krishna's momentary headache, right? So that seva bhav, selflessness, right? The ahaituki apratihata seva bhav is prominent in all of these rasas. And the higher the rasa, the more the unmotivated the service, the more the uninterrupted the service, right? Narada Muni is also pure devotee of the Lord, but Narada Muni couldn't fathom that the gopis are simply taking the dust and giving it to Krishna to just cure him of a momentary headache, while they'll be going to hell for several lifetimes, right? He could not fathom that, right? So the higher the rasa, the more the selflessness, or more the ahaituki apratihata seva bhav, right? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is himself saying there is no end to describing the system of devotional service with attachment. But then at every level, the seva bhav keeps on increasing, and unless we know our sthai bhav or our constitutional position, we can simply serve according to the instructions of our senior devotees, right? It is said that those who are practicing devotional service under the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they generally have two roles to play. One is seva in Goloka Vrindavan, another is also seva in Mayapur Navdeep Dham, because both the dhams are not different. Like Shrivas Angan is said to be non-different from the Rasasthali of Shri Radha and Krishna. So in this way, we as the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we simply engage in Harinam Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names of the Lord, hearing about the Lord, associating with the devotees who have such taste in hearing and chanting the holy names of the Lord. In this way, when we associate and cultivate our devotional service by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the association of devotees, slowly but surely, one day will come when such Staiba will be revealed to us. Until such time, we simply render service according to the instructions that we've received from our spiritual authority. Okay, let's move ahead. Deval Mataji, go ahead. Lord Chaitanya then described.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dharat Pranam. Lord Chaitanya then described the ultimate goal of devotional service, which is meant for one who wants to attain perfection. When one's attachment to Krishna becomes very deep, one has attained the condition called love for Godhead. The devotee who attains such a state of existence is said to be in his permanent situation. In this regard, Kaviraj Goswami offers his respectful obeisances to Lord Chaitanya for his sublime teachings of love of Godhead. As stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.1, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, who but you has ever awarded such pure devotional service? O most magnanimous incarnation of the Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances to this incarnation known as Gaur Krsna. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3.1, love of Godhead is compared to sunshine, and this shining makes the devotee's heart more and more lovely. The heart of such a devotee is situated in a transcendental position beyond even the material mode of goodness. As the devotee's heart becomes increasingly sterilized by the sunshine of love, he attains a state called bhava. This is a description of bhava given by Rupa Goswami. Bhava is a permanent characteristics of the living entity, and the crucial point of the progress for bhava is called the marginal state of love of Godhead. When the bhava state becomes deeper and deeper, learned devotees call it love of Godhead. As stated in the Narada Pancharatra, Ananya Mamata Vishnu Mamata Prema Sangata Bhakti Riti Uchyate Bhishma Prahlado Dhavanardaihi. When one is firmly convinced that Vishnu is the only object of love and worship, and that there is no one else, not even a demigod, worthy of receiving devotional service, one is said to feel intimacy in his loving relationship with God. This is the conclusion of such personalities as Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, and Narada. If due to some righteous... Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
So we all know the 9 stages of bhakti, right? We are all in Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and Bhajana Kriya, right? Most of us would be in Bhajana Kriya level, right? We are engaging in the process of chanting Hare Krishna. We are hearing about Krishna. We are hearing daily Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We are associating with devotees. We are honoring only Krishna Prasadam. So in this way, we are doing all of these things to reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are in Shraddha. Then we are out of faith. With faith, we are engaging in Sadhu Sangha, and then we are also doing Bhajana Kriya in the association of devotees, which is all very good. And then we are also currently in the stage where our anarthas are getting slowly cleansed up, right? Anartha Nivritti. Nivritti means to get wiped off, to get cleansed, isn't it? So as our anarthas get cleansed, to the extent our anarthas get cleansed, to that extent we will obtain more strong faith in the holy name, in following the devotional service, right? That stage is called Nishtha, right? All these stages of Nishtha, even at the stage of Nishtha, right? If whatever troubles may come, I will continue to follow the path of devotional service. That means the more we go ahead from Nishtha to Ruchi, right? We get taste in performing devotional service. Then although there might be inconveniences, although there may apparently be some obstacles, we will not want to give up the devotional service. Right, Nishtha, Ruchi, and then going ahead is Asakti. That means complete attachment to doing that particular seva. Come what may, whatever may be my state, I want to somehow or the other do that particular seva because it gives pleasure to the Lord. Bhava is with complete emotionally sold out to the Lord, right? And then a little bit of only Vaishnava Aparadh, that only tinges may remain in the heart at the time of Bhava. We saw how Bharat Maharaj can even fell down from the level of Bhava. And then the fruit of that is Krishna Prema. That is the highest level from where one can never fall down, right? So once I asked His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu, right? And also I 2-3 devotees, when I asked them, right, the temple president, if we are, like Krishna says, Yatgatuhan Nivartante Tadhama Paramam Mama. And also Prabhupada says that we are all originally Krishna conscious living entities. Then how would it be fall down? Right? Then if we have fallen down, even after we perfect our life, is there a chance that we may again want to enjoy independently and we may fall down? And then, the answer that I received, which was quite consistent, is that we were originally Krishna conscious living entities, but we fell down because of our desire to enjoy independently. But what does Krishna say? Yad gatvana nivartante. One who comes back to me. That means one who perfects his life and comes back. Right? The first time you're already there. But when one perfects and comes back, then one will never fall down. That is one. Secondly, Krishna gives Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam cha. Once we've experienced the fall down and we've experienced all of these things, when we go back to the spiritual world, we will never want to be envious of Krishna. We will never want to enjoy independently. So in that way, Krishna's promise is true that once we perfect our lives and go back, come back to Godhead, in our intimacy, in our loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in our love and worship and adoration of the Lord, we will only want to dovetail all of our propensities to serve the Lord for his satisfaction. We will not want to enjoy independently, right? And that is what is declared here by the Mahajans also, right? Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, Narada, right? They are all pure devotees of the Lord. They are convinced that the Lord is the only object of love. There is nothing else that is worth. Even as devotees, we have that kind of realization, right? Even if we get some material benefits also, we know that is the nature, temporary nature. When it is taken away, right? You have to be quite sober, right? Whatever comes has to go someday, right? We are convinced. If something goes also, we are not like, oh, why did it come? Why did it go? We don't grieve as much as we would have if we are not in Krishna consciousness. We would think, oh, why bad things are happening to me? I am such a great soul. I am such a great, such a moralist, like that and all. We have some overestimated opinion about ourselves. But now we know nothing can go wrong in the law of God. We know that law of karma works, right? It works slow but sure, right? So we know that if you are experiencing some difficulty, it is because of our past sinful reactions. And we also know that the Lord is actually minimizing it. It's not that if you were to get actually our dues, then it, we may not be able to take it at all. But the Lord is so merciful that the Lord gives us only those amount of doses that we can actually take it and still continue with our devotional service. The Lord is so merciful. So we don't really whine and harp about why I have lost something, why I did not get this, right? Maybe we will feel sad for a little bit of time, but then with our understanding of the scriptures, we know that this is Krishna's plan. If something is not going according to my plan, it is a higher plan of the Lord. And the Lord is my benefactor. The Lord is my best well-wisher. Right? If it's not happening, there must be some higher plan for me. Like that, devotees, they feel, even in the sadhaka stage, right? We are able to accept certain things. Although it does not happen according to our will. So we can very easily understand how pure devotees of the Lord, who are sold out to the Lord, how could they ever have something as a desire which is not dovetailed in the service of the Lord? It's not possible. While we at our neophyte stage, ourselves, we were able to accept certain things which we were so passionate about. Oh, I should get this, like that. Those things also we are able to accept. That maybe it is the will of the Lord. Maybe this is only good for me. If this Krishna has arranged this for me, this is only good for me. If at our neophyte stage we're able to accept such a thing, then we can see how much exalted devotees, how much you're able to accept everything as a plan of the Lord. All right, let's move ahead. Okay, Sudha Mataji, go ahead. If due to some righteous activities.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
If due to some righteous activities which provoke devotional service, one acquires some faith, one takes shelter of the good association of pure devotees and is influenced by their service attitude, then he develops attachment for hearing and chanting. By developing hearing and chanting, one can advance further and further in regulative devotional service to the Supreme Lord. As one so advances, his misgivings about devotional service and his attraction to the material world proportionately diminish. By advancing in hearing and chanting, a devotee becomes more firmly fixed in his faith. Gradually, he develops a taste for devotional service, and that taste gradually develops into attachment for Krishna. When that attachment becomes pure, it exhibits the two characteristics of bhava, emotion, and rati, affection. When rati increases, it is called love of Godhead. Love of Godhead is the ultimate goal of human life. This process is summarized by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4, 15 to 16. The first thing required is faith. Due to faith, a person associates with pure devotees, and by such association, he develops devotional service. As devotional service develops, his misgivings diminish. Then he is situated in firm conviction, and from that conviction, he develops a taste for devotional service and advances to the stage of attachment for Krishna whereby he follows the regulative principles of devotional service spontaneously. After that point, he makes still further progress and attains the state called bhava, which is permanent. Such love of God becomes deeper and deeper until it reaches the higher stage of love of Godhead. In Sanskrit, this highest stage is called prema. Prema can be defined as love of God without any expectation of exchange or return. Actually, the words prema and love are not synonymous, yet one can still say that prema is the highest stage of love. One who has attained prema is the most perfect human being. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25 confirms this statement. Only by the association of pure devotees can a person develop a taste for Krishna consciousness, and when he tries to apply Krishna consciousness in his life, he can achieve everything up to the stage of bhava and prema. Lord Chaitanya next is thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is what we discussed from Shraddha to Prema. We can acquire all of these levels from Shraddha to Prema simply by following the regulative principles and following in the footsteps of bona fide devotees, acharyas, and being in the association of those devotees who have taste in performing these angas of devotional service. Like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu gives a very nice example. हमको खाली लिफ्ट में रहना है, right? We need to simply be in the lift. And what happens? The lift will automatically reach the 25th floor. We will reach our final destination. Only thing, we should not get down, in between when the lift stops in various floors. We have to ensure that we remain in the association of devotees, we remain within the lift, and we follow the instructions given by the leader in the lift. Right? We simply have to do that. It's not that we have to do hard labor like climbing up the stairs. We get tired, we fall down. All those things are not there. We simply have to be inside. We simply have to follow instructions, and then with time, automatically we will reach our destination of Krishna Prema. So we are in the association of devotees. We have faith. We are practicing, bhajana kriya, and then Nishtha slowly develops. Raga will slowly come, and then Shakti will come, and then Bhava will come, and then Prema will come. But then we have to be in the association of devotees. Do the do's and don't do the not do's. Right. So if we do that, right, if we follow it very strictly, then automatically we will attain our desired success, which is Krishna Prema, which is love of Godhead. Okay, Lord Chaitanya next described. Moshmi Mataji, go ahead. Okay, if anyone else also wants to read, we have another like 10 minutes. Okay, we can complete this chapter or maybe 2-3 paragraphs more. Yes, Mataji, go ahead. Moshmi Mataji. You need to unmute yourself. I can't hear you. Or is it a problem with my speaker? Okay. I can't hear you, Mataji. Okay, let's try. Hema Mataji, can you unmute?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. You're audible. Okay, so Moshmi Mataji, just try your speaker. Maybe you can read next. Okay, Hema Mataji, go ahead. Lord Chaitanya next described.
Lord Chaitanya next described the symptoms of a person who has developed from faith to the stage of bhava. Such a person is never agitated, even if there are causes for agitation, nor does he wants his time, not even a moment.
Waste his time.
He is always anxious to do something for Krishna. Even if he has no engagement, he will find some work to do for Krishna's satisfaction. Nor does such a person like anything which is not connected with Krishna, although he is situated in the best position. He does not hanker after praise. He is confident under the impression that he is not progress toward the supreme goal of life, going back to Godhead, since he is fully is always very busy achieving the highest goal. He is very much attached to gratifying the Lord and is enchanting to hearing about the Lord, and he is always attached in describing qualities of the Lord. He always wants to live in holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka. All these characteristics are visible in one who has developed to this. Mataji.
Okay. So, what is the characteristic of a devotee? Is that is the ability is his ability to tolerate provoking situations. That is what is the definition that Prabhupada gives. Who is actually a sadhu, right? Who is a sadhu? Dhirastatra namuyati. Right? No situations can make him hanker or lament. No situation can agitate him so much that he will do whatever his mind dictates. No, a devotee is always composed. A devotee always thinks before he acts. Right? Why? Because there is nothing that can agitate a devotee. Because he has no anxiousness, he has no engagement that wants to satisfy his own senses. Right? When something does not go the way we want to do, we get agitated only when we want to satisfy certain of our own interests. Right? If you're okay either ways, right? As long as it pleases the Lord, if it happens this way also it's okay. If it happens that way it's okay. Why? Because we are engaged in seva, not for our own pleasure, but for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When that is the situation, as long as we are performing our seva to the satisfaction of our gurus, we are not really bothered what is the result of it, right? Whether it was a success or it was a failure, it does not matter. So I don't get agitated by the results of the actions, knowing well that I've already pleased the Lord by simply engaging in the service, right? Simply attached to gratifying the Lord, simply attached to hearing about the Lord, simply wanting to live in the places where the Lord has performed his pastimes, right? And the same thing does not happen also. A devotee is not really worried. Wherever I am, I always remember Krishna. And where if I'm able to always remember Krishna wherever I am, that place itself becomes Vrindavan Dham, right? Wherever a devotee is conscious of Krishna all the time and does activities for the pleasure of the Lord, that place is Vrindavan Dham, right? Vrindavan can be in Vrindavan Dham, but still not be Vrindavan conscious. But a person can be in Mumbai, but still be Vrindavan conscious, right? That is why it is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. To be conscious of Krishna wherever we are. And then internally, we can eternally remain in Vrindavan consciousness. Why Vrindavan consciousness? Because that is what the Vrindavan Vasis do. They are always thinking of Krishna. They are not thinking about themselves. They don't even think of protecting themselves. They do anything and everything for the pleasure of the Lord. And they simply depend upon the Lord for their protection. This is Vrindavan consciousness. So we can check ourselves, right? In moments of danger, in moments of course, it's not that we don't do anything to protect ourselves. We just say Krishna and we, right? It depends on our level of surrender also. Artificially, we cannot do that. We cannot simply say that, okay, Krishna will take care of everything. I will not go to office, right? Krishna says, Ma Manusmara Yudhyacha. Krishna is actually telling us how to surrender also. Krishna never told us you just surrender, right? Even Draupadi tried her best. And when things are out of our control, that time only you have to surrender. Raise our arms and surrender to the Lord. But until to the extent we have an influence, we have to work. Right? Prabhupada, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, we cannot even maintain our own body without work. Right? So what are we talking of other things? Right? Basic things. First things first. Again. Okay, let's move forward. What were we reading? Okay, so now example of devotees. Let's read this. Very interesting. Moshmi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear now?
Oh, this is the sound is coming from your side only. Ta -ta 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 -ta. Music is always coming. I was just thinking when the previous person was reading. Some disturbance is coming. Some noise is coming. Try again.
Okay, okay.
Now it's okay. Looks
Now,
like. Read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Go ahead.
Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
King Parikshit affords a good example of bhava from there.
Yes. King Parikshit affords a good example of bhava. When sitting on the bank of the Ganga,
Ganga, waiting to meet his death due to the curse of the Brahman boy. He said, all the Brahmanas present here, as well as Mother Ganga, should know that I am a soul completely surrendered to Krishna. I do not mind if I am immediately bitten by the snake. Hare Krishna. Immediately bitten by the snake. Let the snake bite me as it likes. I shall be praised if all of you present here will go on chanting the message of Krishna. Uh, Such a devotee is always anxious to see that his time is not wasted in anything which is not connected with Krishna. Consequently, he does not like the benefit derived from the fruitive activity, yogic meditation, or the cultivation of knowledge. He is simply attached to words uh, favorably related to Krishna. Such pure devotees of the Supreme Lord always pray to him with tears in their eyes. Their mind always recollect his activities, and their bodies always offer him obeisances. Thus, they are satisfied. Any devotee who renders such devotional service dedicates his life and body for the purpose of Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we know in
Hare
Bhagavad Gita,
Krishna.
Krishna says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishasi satyam te pratijani priyosi me. Manmana bhava, always think of me. Mad bhakto, become my devotee. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances unto me. And then the devotees do precisely that, right? What is that verse? Mat chitta mat kata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They derive great pleasure and enlighten each other about Lord Krishna's pastimes. Whatever pastimes did in Vrindavan, in Mathura, in what is that? Mathura, Vrindavan, and Dwaraka. Right? They are eternally. Rukmini Devi actually is telling Satyabhama, right? What are the activities that Lord Krishna performed when he was here? And Satyabhama is telling Satyabhama is telling Rukmini about when they went to the Indraloka, that Parijat pastime, how Krishna took the Parijat tree and brought it from Indraloka. Like that, they are always engaged in talking about Krishna, what Krishna did for them, how they tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And even in this material world, devotees who are trying to become pure devotees, even they are so much interested in talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, narrating the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. They always recollect the activities of Lord Sri Krishna. So this is the nature of a devotee, a pure devotee of the Lord. And also, this is the nature of a person who wants to develop pure devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All right, so let's move ahead. I think we finished this chapter today. There are only 2-3 paragraphs left. Okay, Harjit Mataji, go ahead. King Bharata.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranam. Yes, Mataji.
Screen is not visible, Mataji.
Cannot see the screen?
Screen
okay,
is
Rohini
not
Mataji,
visible.
can you see Rohini Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Mataji, Harjit Mataji, you can read next. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
So should I read, Mataji?
Yeah.
King Bharata, after whom India is called Bharatvarsha, was also a pure devotee, and at an early age he left his household life, his beautiful devoted wife, his sons, friends, and kingdom, just as if they were stool. This is typical of a person who has developed bhava in the course of his devotional service. Such a devotee always thinks of himself as the most wretched, and his only satisfaction is in thinking that someday or other Krishna will be kind enough to favor him by engaging him in devotional service. In the Padma Purana, another instance of pure devotion is found. There it is recorded that King Bhagiratha, although the most elevated of human beings, was begging from door to door and was even praying to the Chandalas, the lowest member of the human society. Sri Sanatana Goswami later composed this verse. Mataji, please can you read?
Yeah. न प्रेम श्रवणादि भक्तिरपि वा योग अथवा वैष्णवो ज्ञानं वा शुभ कर्म वा कियदहो सज्जातिरप्यस्ति वा हीनार्थाधिक साधके त्वयि तथा अपि अच्छेत्य मूला सती एकोऽपि जनवल्लभा व्यतयते आहा मदासैव माम्.
I am poor in love of Godhead, and I have no qualification for hearing about devotional service, nor do I have any understanding of the science of devotional service, nor any cultivation of knowledge, nor any righteous activities to my credit, nor am I born in a high family. Nonetheless, O darling of the damsels of Braja, I still maintain a hope of achieving you, and this hope is always disturbing me. A devotee who is touched deeply by such a strong desire always chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this regard, the following verse by Bilva Mangala appears in the Krishna Karnamrita 32. Mataji, please.
त्वच्चैषवं त्रिभुवनाद्भुतमित्यवेहि मच्चापलं च तव वाममवाधिगम्यम् तत्किं करोमि विरलं मुरलीविलासी मुग्धं मुकाम्बुजं मुदीक्षितुमीक्षणाभ्यम्
O Krishna, O Krishna, O flute player, the beauty of your boyhood activities is very wonderful in this world. You know the agitation of my mind, and I know what you are. No one knows how confidential our relationship is. Although my eyes are anxious to see your face, I cannot see you. Please let me know what to do. A similar passage appears in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3.38, in which Rupa Goswami states, Mataji, please.
ओदन बिंदु मरंदस्यांदि दृक् इंदीवराद्य गोविंद तव मधुर स्वरकंठी गायती नामावलीं बाला.
O Govinda, this young girl with tears in her eyes is crying in a sweet voice, chanting your glories. Such pure devotees are always anxious to describe the glories of Krishna and to live in a place where he exhibited his pastimes. A similar verse appears again in the Krishna Karnamrita 92. The body of Krishna is so nice and his face is so beautiful. Everything about him is simply sweet and fragrant. And in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.156, O lotus-eyed one, when will I be able to always chant your holy name? And being inspired by that chanting, when will I be able to dance on the banks of the Yamuna? In this way, Lord Chaitanya described to Sanatana Goswami the symptoms of the bhava stage of devotional service. Lord Chaitanya, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so this is the bhava stage. In the bhava stage also, the devotees don't say that, oh, I am already dancing with Krishna, right? They always have tears of separation, right? Asking for more and more service, right? When will I see the Lord? When will I get opportunities to serve the Lord more? The devotee will never think that, oh, I've done enough seva. Now it is time to receive from the Lord. I've done enough from my part, right? Now I have to get from the Lord. That is not the mood of a devotee. That marks the beginning of a fall down, right? What is our consciousness? The more we want to serve the Lord, like, the more we want to give respect to others, we can always be satisfied, because who can stop us from respecting devotees, from offering obeisances to devotees? But the more we want obeisances from other people, the more we want respect from other people, the more we will be agitated. Why? Because do we have control when somebody else will respect you or not? We don't, right? When we want to give respect, we can always be blissful and peaceful, because that is the natural state of our consciousness, to offer all respects to others without expecting any respect in return. But if we expect respect from others, we will always be agitated. We'll always be saying, when that person will give me water, when that person will ask me to sit down, right? Rather, if we want to serve water to others, when we want to ask devotees to sit down, how can I serve you? Right? That is a consciousness in which we can experience bliss. Like that. Okay, now we are moving on from bhava to the final level, which is prema. This is the consciousness of fully surrenderance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll end with Harjeet Machaji completing the chapter for us. Mataji, are you able to unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Lord
Yes,
Chaitanya next described the symptoms of actual love for Krishna. He said that no one can understand the words, activities, or symptoms of a person who has developed love for Krishna. Even if one is very learned, it is very difficult to understand a pure devotee in the stage of love of God. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When a person engaged in devotional service in love of God, God sings the glories of the Supreme Lord. His heart melts because the Lord is very dear to him. When he glorifies the Lord's name, fame, and so on, he becomes almost like an insane man. And in the condition, he sometimes laughs, sometimes cries, and sometimes dances. He continues in this way without even considering his situation. By gradually developing his love of Godhead, he increases his affection, his emotion, and his ecstasy. The culmination of attachment is Mahabhava, the highest stage of devotional love. It may be likened to rock candy, which is the most concentrated form of sugar. As it is concentrated, sugarcane juice goes through different stages. Merciless sugar candy, but the final and the most palatable state is raw candy. Similarly, love of Godhead can gradually develop in such a way that transcendental pleasure is increased to the highest stage for the real devotees. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So here, another example is like boiling the milk, right? So much we need to boil the milk so that, it condenses itself and then we add sugar, right? And then in this way, we make rabadi, right? That, or even kheer for that reason, right? We condense the milk so much. So when this condensed prema, right? This love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead so much gets so condensed, it becomes so thick, right, that no amount of external force can actually unbind it like that. So like that, Krishna prema is this thickened level of bhava and prema. That is what is like a rock candy. Prabhupada gives example here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gives example, right? It gives the highest pleasure. Why? Because at that level, one is able to completely offer oneself in the lotus feet of the Lord, completely without even a tinge or an iota of any interest other than that of the Lord, right? For the Lord means everything to such a person, and that is why Krishna does not give Krishna prem to everybody. Krishna may give name, fame, glory. Krishna may give everything, whatever else a person wants. But if a person's desire is only to attain Krishna prema, then one has to pass through various tests. When one passes those tests, then Krishna gives Krishna prema. Means what? Krishna sells himself. Krishna gives himself to such a devotee, right? And then Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. I protect what that person has. I give what that person lacks. And then Bhaktyanam, what is that? Name Bhaktya Pranashati. Krishna will take anxiety for such a devotee. Right? The other day we're talking about how Arjuna, he just promised, I will kill Jayadratha or I will enter the fire. He happily slept. But Krishna was thinking, oh, how will I, how should I save Arjuna? Isn't it? So in this way, when Krishna gives Krishna prema to somebody, he offers himself to such a devotee, and he takes all anxieties. He takes their sense gratification or whatever. They don't have any sense gratification, but then their interests as more important than Krishna's own interests. That he is willing to even forego his own promise to serve and please his own devotees, like that. Right? In Bhishma Pitamaha also, during the Kurukshetra war, he promised that he will not take any weapon, but he took the wheel of the chariot and he rushed towards Bhishma Pitamaha to give Bhishma Pitamaha pleasure, because he was not able to tolerate Bhishma's arrows that were gliding towards Arjuna. Right? So to satisfy devotees, Krishna can give up his own word. Right? For him, his devotees are more important than he himself. So that is the loving nature, the compassionate nature, the care, the love that Krishna has for his devotees. And we also want to develop that kind of love for Krishna. We already have it, but then it's covered. But we want to unravel our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is our means by which we can actually reawaken our love for Krishna. By reading such books by great acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, this gives us a glimpse of the glory of attachment to Krishna, and then we also want to develop that kind of attachment for Krishna. So with this, we come to an end of our today's session, and we will meet tomorrow again. We will continue with our next chapter of teachings of Lord Chaitanya tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we will do Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, slowly and steadily, we are grounded, right? Bhagavad Gita keeps us grounded. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya tells us about the ecstasies of the spiritual world, the ecstasies of Krishna Prem. But we have to be grounded where we are. From there, we know where we want to reach, so we can be fixed in our path towards love for Krishna. ग्रंथराज टीचिंग्स ऑफ लॉर्ड चैतन्य की जय, जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, Sai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All right, so devotees can switch on your cameras, and we will do 2-3 minutes of Harinam Sankirtan, and then we'll open up for devotees. If you want to have any queries or questions or realizations, then you all can share. In this way, we will end our session. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Jaya Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Jaya Bala Gopal Bala Gopal Bala Gopal Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Rukmini Vithal Jaya Bala Tatya Jaya Guruvayurappa Jaya Radha Govinda Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Govinda Radha Gopinatha Radhe Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Sham Sundar Radha Ras Bihari Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Shadgu Swami Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Harinam Sankirtan की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. So I see Moshmi Mataji, Rohini Mataji, Rajneesh Prabhu, Sindhu Mataji, Karpagavali Mataji, Anjana Mataji, Vijayalakshmi Priya Mataji, Harjeet Mataji, Rishabhanu Kanya Mataji, Nav Kishori Mataji. Okay, all our regular devotees. Thank you all very much for joining in. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Anantakuti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Anusha Rangarajan Mataji. Where are you? Is she here? Yeah, Mataji, if you can, you can show us your darshan. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is the first time I got to experience nectar from your. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Oh, I'm not worthy of such glorification. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. I'm extremely grateful to you that you could make it to our session. Please do join us every day. It is only by the inspiration of all those devotees who are joining every day that we're able to read such wonderful books like Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, like Bhagavad Gita, and then soon, after Teachings of Lord Chaitanya or whichever gets over first, we are starting with first canto of Bhagavatam. Right? All of this is only by the mercy of devotees, right? If not for devotees, we will not be able to do all of these things. So my sincere gratitude to all the devotees who join us every day in the morning 5 o'clock, in the afternoon 12:30, irrespective of wherever they are, they join us and thus they inspire us so that we can do this study of Srila Prabhupada's books. This is something that pleases Srila Prabhupada a lot. Studying Srila Prabhupada's books and distributing Srila Prabhupada's books are some sevas out of many other, of course, doing daily worship, distributing Krishna Prasadam, all of that also pleases Prabhupada. But these two are, Prabhupada says, I live in my books eternally. So we can associate with Prabhupada on a daily basis. Okay, Anusha Mataji, you want to say something? Go ahead. Oh, everyone can unmute themselves now, huh? Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Where are you? Yeah. Hare Bol. Nice to see you. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, you want to say something? Okay.
Hare Krishna,
Small...
Mataji. Yes, I have a toddler, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So very sorry for disturbance, Mataji.
No problem. We want small children to also join us our Mangalarti chanting sessions, because I know children don't sleep in the night. Then Hare Krishna. Oh, how old is he?
He's 3.5, Mataji.
Good.
Hare Bol.
Very nice.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Very, very grateful for your association. This is the first time I got to experience your thing online.
Chameleon, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Really sorry. I didn't want to disturb the class. That's the reason I didn't switch on the video.
No problem, Mataji.
If it is okay, and Mataji, I just wanted to quickly convey my gratitude. As in I joined very late. Apparently, I just got the link and I was very curious and I just logged in. I was just bringing my kid from school, so that time. But 3 points, I attended 20 minutes of the lecture today. You had mentioned about the internal mood of a devotee and how explicitly he doesn't mention the or demonstrate the symptoms which he has, and how to internalize the mood of Krishna, and how a pure devotee must be carrying forward the teachings of Guru Shastra, and and the importance of Sadhu Sangha. That was very pleasing to the heart, Mataji. Thank you so much. And the second point which I really enjoyed was, Mataji, when this morning's class of yours, I heard the Vaishnav Bhajan which you sang. I heard that. And then the second point which I really enjoyed in this gathering is about the importance of reading Prabhupada's book, which time and again was mentioned, and the anecdotes which you mentioned from be it Bhagavatam or Gaur Leela, Sanatana Goswami's conversation with that of Mahaprabhu was very pleasing, Mataji. Thank you so much. So may I get the bhagyam to experience your class?
Please give us the bhagyam of your association every day. Please
join us at 12. I'm no one to receive your grace. So thank you so much. I'm very young. I'm very new to the movement. So yes, you'll have to guide this rascal forward, Mataji. Thank you so much.
You're all inspiring each other, helping each other. So please do join us. Morning 5 to 6, 5 to 7, 5 to 6:40 actually. We do chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If your son permits, you can also join us for a couple of rounds. And
Sure,
also,
Mataji. I
in the
have 8
afternoon,
pillows at home, and I have my little Bal Gopal to also take care of, apart from the normal services. And I'm doing my studies and working as well. So, whatever time Krishna blesses me with, I'm just trying to get the grace of
try for the
Vaishnava.
morning, and the afternoon is we've kept it during lunchtime only. There are some devotees who
Yes,
join
that
from
is
the
the
office.
reason. That is the reason. The timings are very flexible. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your association.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Mataji has
Yes.
a YouTube channel also. Oh, she left. I just wanted to tell her, Mataji, you have a YouTube channel. You know, she can even
No,
while
she's
cooking,
there.
driving,
Krishna
she
Mataji.
can listen. But she left.
Yeah. No, she's there.
No. Yes, Mataji, I'm there. Sure. I'll
Oh, okay,
tune
okay,
in.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. Shri Gurudev ki.
Pranav.